When you ask the typical automobile lover about legendary engines, you will hear the usual suspects. The 2JZ engine from Toyota, the RB26 engine from Nissan, and the screaming VTEC four-cylinder engine from Honda. However, if you ask a genuine enthusiast of automobiles, the kind of person who spends their nights scouring through esoteric spec sheets and fawning over lost JDM treasures, they will repeatedly mention the Mazda K Series V6. The engine in question has not dominated drag strips or filled YouTube compilations with turbo whooshes. There was a limited supply of aftermarket parts, thus, it was not a powerhouse. On the contrary, it was something more uncommon, a marvel of engineering that was constructed with impeccable accuracy and is today revered by fans for its smoothness, balance, and personality. Despite this, the vast majority of people are completely unaware that it even exists. Mazda's approach to philosophy is different. Throughout the 1990s, Mazda was a company that was fascinated with uniquely conducting business. At the same time, when Toyota and Nissan were engaged in a war over horsepower, Mazda was concentrating on achieving balance, refinement, and engineering purity. In addition to the rotary engines seen in the RX-7, it may also be found in something that is not as spectacular, namely the K Series V6. Engineers at Mazda sought to demonstrate that a six-cylinder engine could be so light, compact, and soulful that it could be considered a true driver's engine. What is the result? The 60-degree DOHC V6 family consisted of engines with displacements ranging from 1.8 liters K8 to 2.5 liters KL. Unlike the cumbersome iron block engines that were common in that era, they were marvels made entirely of aluminum that were meant to rev joyfully while still being able to fit into compact and lightweight automobiles. This was Mazda's method of expressing the idea that engines require more than simply power. They also require personality, characteristics that set the K Series apart. Upon initial inspection, the numbers do not appear to be very shocking. The most well-known version, the 2.5-liter KLZE, produced approximately 200 horsepower, which might be considered acceptable for the early 1990s, but did not garner much attention. Here, however, the numbers do not convey the whole story. Despite being a V6 engine, the K Series was remarkably compact in terms of its design. Mazda built it so that it could be installed in automobiles that would have ordinarily had four-cylinder engines. High revving nature, with a redline that could reach 7,000 revolutions per minute in certain models, it had a passion for singing. It was exciting, smooth, and mechanical in a way that the majority of six-cylinder engines were not at the time. Balanced power delivery ensures that there are no dead patches or sudden surges. Simply a smooth, linear pull that turned us driving into an experience that was both effortless and exciting. Twin cam heads, an efficient intake design, and Mazda's focus on smoothness gave the K Series a character that aficionados compare to BMW inline sixes. This was accomplished through engineering purity. It wasn't about using force to achieve victory. It was all about how you felt. You will never forget the experience of driving an automobile that has a K Series engine, the vehicles that conceal it. One of the reasons why the majority of people are unaware of the K Series is because, to conceal it, Mazda hid it in automobiles that were not particularly attention-grabbing. The Mazda MX-6 is a coupe that is both undervalued and stylish, and it easily evades attention. The Mazda 626 is the family car that the majority of people were introduced to for the first time. It is the luxury vehicle known as the Mazda Millennia that was given the Miller Cycle supercharged version of the K Series. Yep, supercharged. Mazda Unos Cosmo, only available in Japan, is the more luxurious sister that established Mazda's reputation for being innovative in its approach to everyday life. During a time when people were obsessed with Supras, GTRs, and RX-7s, these automobiles were not displayed on bedroom walls as posters, but those who were aware were aware. This is the Miller Cycle Unicorn. Among the most extreme iterations of the K Series, there was more than just a V6 engine. The engine that was found in the Mazda Millennia was a supercharged Miller cycle V6. The Miller cycle engine, in contrast to a conventional Otto cycle engine, utilized delayed intake valve timing in conjunction with a Lysholm supercharger in order to achieve its superior efficiency. Mazda was not attempting to construct a drag monster with this vehicle. With this model, Mazda attempted to integrate cutting-edge engineering into sedans that are used in everyday life. A high-end automobile that features an unusual powertrain? Only Mazda would have the courage to do it. The reasons why fans continue to adore it. The K Series was never supposed to become a tuner hero. It was not equipped with an infinite number of turbo kits or massive horsepower builds. Rather, it acquired a cult following due to the fact that it exemplifies something that is uncommon in the world of automobiles, an engine that was constructed with purity in mind. The owners of the K Series have said that it is one of the most refined V6s ever produced. A propensity to rev, a buttery delivery, and a sound that was refined yet soulful were all characteristics that it possessed. It had that magical balance. This was the kind of engine that made you want to take the long way home just to hear it sing. It was that kind of engine. And because it was so little, it gave automobiles a sense of agility, equilibrium, and eagerness, which was something that competitors' large and heavy V6 engines were unable to imitate. Why did it vanish from view? The question is, if the K Series was so outstanding, why does Mazda not continue to produce it? The answer is straightforward: the expense, the rules, and the pollution. Towards the end of the 1990s, small displacement six-cylinder engines were beginning to be put into production. Automobile manufacturers realized that modern four-cylinder engines and turbocharging could provide the same level of performance while also improving fuel economy and complying with pollution regulations. Despite the fact that it was a masterpiece, the K Series was not only over-engineered and expensive to construct, but it also did not conform to the new paradigm of putting efficiency first. It was no longer present by the early 2000s, the passing down of a secret hero. Some people consider the Mazda K Series V6 to be a cult classic. The enthusiasts who have had the opportunity to experience it are adamant that it is among the best forgotten engines of the 1990s. It's not about enormous dyno numbers or being famous on the internet. Feel, refinement, and the kind of joy that is difficult to express in words are all important aspects of this. If the 2JZ was about sheer strength and the B Series from Honda was about high-revving VTEC lunacy, then the Mazda K Series was about something more subdued and delicate. But it was just as important: soulful engineering. True fanatics are the only ones who are aware of this particular type of engine, which they will always cherish. Therefore, do you believe that the Mazda K Series deserves to be included in the list of the best engines of the 1990s? Or do you believe that it is destined to remain a secret gem that only the most devoted fans discuss? In the comments section below, please share your ideas with me. And if you are someone who enjoys discovering the forgotten legends of automobile history, then you should press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. This is because we have many more in-depth looks into engines that revolutionize the game, even if the world has forgotten about them.